You tap a screen, a video starts playing, a message appears, a website opens almost instantly. And we don't really think about it. We just expect it to work. But if you stop and think about it for a second, it's kind of amazing. How does a photo you took end up on someone else's phone? Sometimes on the other side of the world, in less than a second. How does a website know it's you asking for it? And where is all this information actually coming from? Today we're going to slow things down and answer a question most of us use every single day, but rarely stop to ask. How does the internet work? That's a question you've probably wondered about. Why is that? And the answer is a lot less magical and a lot more interesting than you might think. We hear the word cloud all the time. Your photos are in the cloud, your files are in the cloud, your email lives in the cloud, and it kind of sounds like everything is floating around, somewhere up in the sky. But the truth is, there is no cloud. Everything you see on the internet lives on real computers, physical machines, and real buildings. These buildings are called data centers. They're packed with rows and rows of powerful computers that store websites, photos, videos, emails, everything. So when you open a website or watch a video, you're not pulling it out of thin air. You're asking another computer somewhere in the world to send it to you. The internet isn't one big machine. It's millions of machines, all connected together. And that connection is what makes everything possible. One of the easiest ways to think about the internet is as a delivery system, not for boxes, but for information. Anytime you send or receive something online, a message, a photo, a video, a web page, you're really sending a request. Your device says, hey, I'd like this information. Another computer says, okay, here it is. And then the internet's job is to get that information from point A to point B as fast and as reliably as possible. But here's the important part. The internet doesn't send information as one big piece. It breaks everything down into tiny pieces. Nothing you send online travels whole. Not a photo, not a video, not even a simple message. Everything is broken into tiny chunks called packets. Each packet carries a few things: where it came from, where it's going, and a small piece of the information itself. Think of it like mailing a book, one page at a time, in separate envelopes, and not even in order. These envelopes might travel different routes. Some might arrive early, some might arrive late. But when they all reach their destination, your device puts them back together in the right order, almost instantly. That's why you can still load a web page, even if a few packets take longer than others. And it's also why the internet is so resilient. If one route is slow or blocked, the packets just take another path. So how does the internet know where to send all of this? The answer is addresses. Every device connected to the internet has an IP address. It's a string of numbers that acts like a mailing address for your device. Websites have them too, but instead of typing long strings of numbers, we use names, like website URLs. When you type in a website name, your device asks a system called DNS. Hey, where does this name actually live? DNS is basically the internet's phone book. It looks up the name and translates it into the correct numerical address. Once it has that address, the packets know exactly where to go. And along the way, they're guided by machines called routers. Routers don't think. They don't understand content. They just look at addresses and pass packets along the best route available. That's it. No intelligence, no awareness, just directions. Here's something that surprises a lot of people. Most of the internet doesn't travel through the air. It travels through cables, underground, under oceans, across continents. Massive fiber optic cables carry information as pulses of light. Yes, light. That's one of the reasons the internet feels so fast, because light moves incredibly quickly. Those cables connect cities, countries, and continents, forming a global web of connections. Satellites and wireless signals do play a role, especially for mobile devices. But the backbone of the internet is still physical infrastructure, real cables, real connections, invisible to us, but very much real. So why does the internet feel instant? There are a few reasons. First, speed. Light moves extremely fast, and fiber optic cables are incredibly efficient. Second, smart routing. The internet is constantly looking for the fastest, least crowded paths. If one route slows down, packets automatically reroute. And third, anticipation. Your device is often loading things before you ask for them. Websites predict what you might click next. Videos buffer ahead. Apps preload data in the background. So by the time you tap or scroll, their information is already waiting. It feels like magic, but it's really preparation. Of course, sometimes it doesn't feel magical at all. Pages hang, videos buffer, connections drop. That usually happens for a few reasons. Too many people using the same route, weak signals, lost packets that need to be resent, or slow connections somewhere along the chain. When packets don't arrive, your device asks for them again. That's what buffering is. It's not the internet thinking, it's just waiting for all the pieces to show up. The internet doesn't understand anything. It doesn't know what a photo means. It doesn't know what a message says. It doesn't know who you are. It just moves information. Meaning happens on our side. The internet is one of the largest systems humans have ever built, not because it thinks, but because it connects. And this is where things start to overlap with modern technology. AI, artificial intelligence, doesn't live inside the internet. It uses the internet. AI systems run on computers and data centers, just like websites do. They send and receive information the same way. The difference isn't the network. It's what happens after the data arrives. That's a conversation for another time. The internet feels invisible, effortless, instant. But behind every click is a massive, organized flow of information. Millions of computers, billions of packets, all quietly talking to each other every second of every day. And the next time you tap a screen and something appears, why is that? Now you know.